Shed with a head.
Peterson. I'll bring in my good partner here, ToledoJess. How you doing, Jesse? Hello? Jesse? Jesse?
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Guess what? I had to mute button.
that happens.
I was only talking to
happens.
myself.
We're live entertainment, and that's to be expected.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I took a hit off my vape, so I muted it because you were complaining about that, and then I forgot that I hit it. Hi, everybody. Patrick.
Hey, everybody. Ronald, Jared,
Wendy, how you doing?
Patrick, Moore, Wendy. How you all doing?
Dano, the Mano, how you doing, buddy?
I'm sure William's out there too. He usually says something later on about when I'm about ready to go off. So I'm gonna catch William now. Hey, William.
So it should be a fun show. We got a guy that been talking to for a while with this new mat. We've been kind of pushing a little bit here and there, and you know, it should be a good show. I hope. Yeah. Seems to be a kind of a weird guy, so be careful.
Yeah, speaking of weird guys, well, we all know. You just had a phone call from him, so I'm gonna play the clip of Croc. He's doing the cleanup at Loud Mine when we put in one of my trays from my cube with the mini dream mat in it, and you'll be able to hear it. I won't. Sorry for the lag. My output's not doing too well. That's not good. Okay, well, I'll cut that then.
Play the video.
Okay, here it comes then.
Alright, first we're going to break off the feeder part. Set that aside. We're coming to the runner mat.
Green mat.
The green mat.
Green
mat.
Yes. Well, we could take that one off and pour the water off of it a little bit.
Let me get another container over here.
Yep.
Getting a pan of malt for it.
Not good.
Excuse me, Jeff. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Oop, I just lost it.
I don't want you to dump the material out. I just want you to kind of run the water off of it.
Did you lose it too, Dave?
So you can see what the mat looks like. The material looks like mat.
Oh, is that gold in that cup right there?
Yeah, you have a lot
of black sand.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, look at there, guys.
There.
A lot less concentrates.
That's always good.
Yep.
Oh my God. Right here.
Yeah, and these cups here, these are filling up too. Those fill up at stage 2.
Are you back in the red again?
Incredible.
Plus there be in here too.
Oh, there should be.
Oh. Well, we'll just have to put a video together real quick.
Piece of gold right up in here, hung up in here. I can see it.
Yep.
Right by my little finger, guys.
I see it.
This is incredible.
Oh, okay. So
it's
these guys
not incredible. It's awesome. Now, if I wanted to, I can hold it
out.
Yeah, you can hold it out like what we do.
It's pretty easy.
Fill this with water. All you gotta do is turn it upside down and just give it a little shake and it's done.
Yeah, it's buffering here too.
Sorry, everybody.
Well, go ahead and rinse this one out.
And
then put some water in it.
Issue with the streaming tonight, so you'll be going through some lag withdrawals.
I got the
whatever you
gold
want
right
to
here.
call
See
it.
it?
I see.
Yeah.
But this is
Right here.
Croc
Right
and
here.
Loud
Right here.
Mine.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Look at it right here.
I got
Yeah.
two.
Oh,
let him
wow,
do
look at it right here. Oh,
how
my
he
God.
wanted to.
This is really awesome, guys. Right here. Look at here.
If
See it
anyone
right here?
knows him here, you'll know
On
why.
the next one,
Great
we'll
guy,
put much water in
caretaker
here.
at Loud Mine.
And on the next one,
washing out the
we
dream
will
mat
how
like
quick it
you
is to
would
clean out.
a,
Look at the gold. Oh, my God. Look at here.
I put clean water in there.
Standard
Look at
mat.
right here. This is really incredible.
Oh, that is-
Instead of dipping it.
Look, oh, right here.
So, but he was still
Pictures there.
real happy at how easy
No, that's a
it
Georgia
cleaned.
nugget.
You should see
See Ohio.
This makes it so easier. I don't have to.
So,
But,
why don't we go ahead
I don't
and
have
introduce
to
David?
breathe like
Pick
everything
this
with
up
full
and
pressure,
bring
just
David
low volume.
Like I'm telling you, if you fill this up with water, then I can turn it upside down, hook it in the water.
Yeah, or just pull them out and dip it, and it's
Oh yeah, you can do that too.
on that one. You can pull out this one. You have to.
That's live streaming
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
All right. So we should go ahead and bring him back in as soon as you can.
Oh, it's over to David. David, join us. David from Dream Matters. When the unicorn farts, you get stuff like the Dream Mat, and the creator of the Dream Mat, David Peterson, coming from us via Skype all the way from Northwest Montana. Oh, Montana. Hey, David, how you doing?
The horse talks, doesn't it?
The
Or,
horse?
excuse the unicorn. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're on live now.
What's that?
I said you're on live now.
Yeah, I know I am.
Okay.
How's it going, guys?
Okay.
It's going.
It's finally nice to see you. Although I don't have my video on. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit how you? Now I don't know. I've kind of been watching your YouTube since you started doing this. When you started building your monster sluice boxes.
Yeah.
and at that's actually when I was actually starting to prospect myself. So I was looking around. I saw your sluice boxes. I'm going, that's really cool. So I've kind of kept an eye on what you've been up to. Then you finally came out with your current thing. So why don't you kind of run us through what you've been through to get here?
Well, my uncle got me into prospecting on the end of I got to see the finale episode of Gold Rush at my uncle's birthday party, and he's a prospector. And so I'm eating cake, watching this, and he's crying about not going out all season because he has health issues, a lot of health issues. I won't go into it. And he's disabled debt. And I go, man, this is really cool. Let's go do this. I'll pack all your crap down and pack it all back. So that's how I got into prospecting. And from then, it's been the searches for the Holy Grail, and I spent years, not a lot of years, about 2.5 years, prospecting and learning and searching for the best thing, because we don't got a lot of gold in our area, very little. And it's really easy to float through the box because it's just small, pixie nuts, unicorn farts. And so we bought or built every dang thing that's out there. And we actually spent over $1,500 in materials just buying stuff and building boxes, in different types of stuff, because we'd see it, wouldn't buy it, we'd choose to build it first, because I'm a mechanical designer and I design a lot of, at that time was designing a lot of high-tech stuff. I'm a fluid guy, I got a lot of fluid dynamic experience. So, I could do this kind of attitude, And then because being involved in a high-tech field, I figured, well, how hard can it be to catch small gold? You know, how hard can this be? Yeah. So we all know that the reason sluice boxes are the way they are is this is the hard thing, catching small. And then on a dare from a prospector, the challenge was on to build the ultimate box. And from that point on, I spent about 2 years designing ideas, and it was an utter failure. And nothing that worked any better than what stuff that's out there. Then I took a second break off, me and my uncle did, because he kicked me out of the shop once, said, this ain't fun no more, get out of here. I'm not letting you in my shop no more. And then the second time I came back, I said, I think I got a good idea. And I've been studying advanced mining techniques for about 6 months. And what I mean by study is even pulling down the latest patents that are out there, studying advanced mining techniques, not just gold, but copper, coal, and also in rare earth metals. And doing a lot of study in advanced mining techniques. And I was convinced after butchering my elk, one of my seasons, out in the shop with all these pictures posted up around me of all these different mining techniques, that the hydrocyclone was the answer to, if I could just get it to work in a stream application. And that's where my first thing that Jesse just asked about came out with. I came out with the sluice box. I didn't think it was overly complicated, but it was. I didn't think it was hard to run, but it was. And it appealed to some miners, small commercial, large commercial, and some pop situations, where it did a good job with classified feed in a really good flow, sorting out really fine gold. But it was pretty impractical. You and me, prospect that doesn't about to have fun, because it is about fun. It's not about always getting all gold, but you don't want to see this flash pan.
Yeah, well, you know,
so,
sometimes it is about the flash in your pan.
Yeah, so we want to see that. We don't want to see it go. So I had so many people come to me and say, just, can you make a mat, Dave? You know, your thing, but just a mat. And I'm like, no, I can't. It's got to be this. And I was actually pretty stuck in my ways. And then after spending, of course, you know, we won't talk about that, but tons of investment money and patenting this thing and all this other stuff, I started listening to people and just saying, you know, I need to give people what they want. And I had a little cleanup thing I invented one time. Geez, I should have brought that in here with me.
Not sure.
I was at my uncle. I was at my uncle's, and I saw it sticking off of the shelf. And I go, hey, give me that thing that I did. You know, it was like a matte version, but it was all cut out of hard plastic, out of pieces of pipe, glued together. It was funnier than heck. This goofy little thing I made by hand. Took a couple hours one night, made this thing. And I was trying to make a cleanup sluice to get the gold completely clean, but it still kept a lot of concentrates. And I go, you know, people are asking for a mat, and I'm going to start going down that road. And then there I started developing the dream mat. And that took from that product, or that idea, building something that kind of worked, but did really good job catching fine gold, developing a product, about another almost 2 years to get all the quirks worked out to where I released a prototype. And what I did, because I didn't want a black eye, and I didn't want people saying this don't work, and I didn't want to deal with that whole thing, I made a bunch of casts of these out of some hard plastic, because that's all I could do at the time. And I sent it out to 14 different prospectors and miners that were interested on Facebook, like you guys are, that were really interested in my product, were following it, talking to me about it, had an interest. And I said, hey guys, I got this new idea for a mat. Here's these plates. Test them. Tell me what you think. And no priming the pump, just putting it out there, these guys. In about a month, came back. I had almost all of them come back except for 2. And they all said the same thing. Actually, some people even said, David, if you don't make this product, God's going to curse you. And so I had a really good green light, you know, and then I had to go get the green light from Mom saying, guess what? More money, more investment, you know, to do the same thing. She's like, you know, ready to string me up or throw me over the fence. And she even told me horses are a better investment because at least you have the horse, you know, even though they eat the hay. So,
but you got to feed a horse.
Yeah, but we feed them if it was really bad. But I'm teasing. But so we went down the Dream Mat Road, and I can't keep up. I got the day job that takes care of everything, and that's really where my focus is at. But in the evenings, if I didn't have a bunch of people helping me right now, even like you guys yourselves, you're kind of interested in this, I couldn't keep, but we're still investment phase because everything's kind of lopsided because of everything I poured into it, and we would think I see a profit for a while, but that's okay because we're having fun. The product works, we're liking it. People are saying things about this product that I even find strange. And we didn't expect it to go as far as it did in this first year. We expected to sell a bunch of mats, get people excited, and kind of start the banter between my mat instead of your mat kind of thing, And we expected all that. We didn't expect large industry to get involved, and people really that are people that don't want to be talking about it, don't want to be talking about their products, because they just their business is their business and their larger stuff, and it's exciting to see where this product's going. And a lot of it is for whatever reason it is, taking the time I did, the engineering that I did. And a lot of people, I just want to say this while I got a few seconds. Dream Mat wasn't just invented by me. It was invented by a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues. And it's really a result of a lot of engineers, a lot of friends, over 5 years. And that's really where that came from. And so it wasn't just me by myself. And so, anyways, I just wanted to say that, it also supports the family. Crazy stuff. And it's funny, the product's taken off, and I'm actually doing less work with the product this summer than I have ever because my family can't efficiently expect and we're staying away from it. So I'll come back in the fall, really be involved in the fall. After hunting season, we got kill stuff.
We're kind of getting a lot of breaking up here.
Breaking up?
Yeah.
Am I speaking too quick, or should I say?
No, unfortunately, it might be Skype this time because now I have green stream health, which is a big plus. But you were breaking up a little bit. I was catching quite a bit of it, though.
Let's see how you're doing now.
I'll try and talk a little slower, which isn't of my nature. But so anyways, Dream Mat's doing really good. We are seeing people who have had other products and other leading brand products that have tried Dream Mat, and they are just like this croc guy at the mine. They think to themselves, and I'm not going to try and get into a contest here. I'm not going to try and the rivalry thing going, but a lot of people are, their products probably work pretty good. But one of the goals was with this product, and one of the rules I had given to me from my wife and also from other things, we didn't want to try and compete at the same level as other people. We didn't want to compete in already established products to be about the same. So right away, it had to work really good. And of course, our opinion and some other people's opinions, better. And so we wanted a world-class product, meaning that this product, we want people's reactions, even though they've tried the other world-class products, to be able to dip this product in the dirt, run their dirt, pull it out, and they should say one or two things. Wow, that's what we want to see. We want to see them say, oh my gosh, I would have never known. You got to be kidding me. Oh, let's do that again. I don't believe it. Or, oh, try that again. You got to be losing something. Oh, it can't be working that good. That's what we want to hear. And we really had to establish the fact that it really isn't worth it to go neck and neck with somebody at the same results. We wanted to have world-class results. And so far, the mat has delivered astounding on that playing field. And it is, I get testimonies from people that have on all the other products come to me saying, I can't imagine going back. I can't imagine going through all the concentrates I used to have to go through. Now I don't have to with Dream Mat. I can't imagine my cleanups now. I get so quick, I couldn't imagine going back to the other way. The gold recovery in an unclassified system like this, come on, you gotta be kidding me. What more could you love? And that's really what we're trying to get going on this, and we're trying to give people their other support products and grow, which is we promise each other. Because I have a partner. I have an awesome partner in Australia named Dustin McMurray. He was getting ready to release a new high banker. This is so exciting. And yet this seems like it's important. But anyways, I'm getting ready to release this new product and go into it for myself as a major mining equipment manufacturer in Australia, like Keen or Gold Hog or somebody like that. And he wanted to establish a new brand. He'd been in other mining shops and doing stuff for a while in partnerships, and they all phased out. And he had this great high banker he felt, and he was sporting another manufacturer's mat. And I saw my mat. He goes, I got to try it, Dave. I got to try your mat, because if I don't, I won't know if it's better than this mat. And I want to release my product with the best mat, and I'm just getting ready to release it. So I send the mat to Australia. I just that month have kicked loose the Dream Mat in February back in 16. Sent it to him. He tried it. He says, this is a bummer, because now I got to change cameras. I got all this inventory of all this other mat, but I can't. I got to sell your mat because it's better. And this is a guy talking to me, his honest feelings. In this partnership, and here's this guy that is selling this mat, and is like, and if you look all over the Australian YouTube and Australian posts of Facebook, this guy, Dream Mats everywhere because of this guy. I got this awesome partnership with this guy, help me sell this mat and listening to what customers want. And we made an agreement, back to what I was talking about. We're not going to release no new products for a year. We're just going to sell the mat, and we're just going to let it go, and we're not going to, and we're going to make it just really easy. And that never happened, because we got so many requests from so many people about I want it for this. And it was like only like 2 months into selling the mat, I would get a messenger request every day from a person going, can I get a Dream Mat for the Cube? Or can I get a Dream Mat for this product? No, not to pick on any product, not doing that. And I would get all these requests, and I'd be like going, well, I can't. And finally, I had to relent. And then we came out with the Cube product.
Hey,
and this
David, you got to give the people what they want,
So this product took a long time, and it took a lot of collaboration, and it went in. There are 3 other products before this that we thought were perfect, and they failed, and it came to this, and we were almost going to release them into production. Actually, there's a mat that looks like this that's in a mine operating, and they say they love it for their 400 minus material. This is what a mine says, 400 minus material. They love it. And actually this mat I feeling works better because we evolved. And we got this product, and then I got, everybody wants a cleanup mat, and so a little while ago, you guys saw me on Facebook, and you see I don't do no real advertising. Actually, you guys are the most advertising I've done. I released a cleanup mat because we're developing this product in Australia, which is different than the Cube mat, actually, because it's got the high-low pattern. It is meant for a more traditional sluicing environment, acting like a traditional riffle. Beating it cleans out better because the Cube one's so steep and it needs to be deep. It's a different product because the commercial guys or the industrial guys are going to use this in large 30 by 60 mats for trommels and washing. So we decided to release this and send this out there. And Dustin came out with this little 6-inch mat, and he sent me some molds the other day, which I'll be selling these for little kid sluices. His are colorful, mine are bland. But anyways, Dustin's having more fun than me. He shouldn't be.
Yeah, I see that.
He does. And so we're gonna have some products that are coming out next month. And besides the standard product and the standard sluice, that box that I have a friend make the hardware for. I don't do any manufacturing. And I mean that in a way where I'm a designer and I actually hire people to do my dream mat for me, and I kind of oversee it, and I oversee stuff because I don't have time because I got the great day job and I love that. And that allows me to be in two places at the same time and also meet the customers' demands, and I can go on vacation and go fishing and hunting.
I got a couple questions here for you.
Good.
One of the people here in the chat asked about how your dredge mats coming. Are you working on those anymore? Or what's happening with that?
I am in so much trouble with about 10 dredgers. In fact, actually, I have some people actually comically threaten me every once in a while. Just Facebook me and threaten me saying, if you don't work on your dredge mat this week, I'm going to come beat you up with that.
Oh my God, I love it.
Mini mat, it's and we got this mat product, and we never thought it would work better, and it does, and it's just really blowing us away, and we're trying to figure out what to do with that because so the little mini mat for the cube, it fits in a cube, and then we're going to have these other mats that will fit in other cleanup sluices and concentrators that are out there in the market. That's why it's an 8-inch, 36-inch long, fits in their standard package, so people can compare. But the dredge mat has to be tested, and it has to have good results, and it has to work, or else we could basically going to have to say, which is okay, Dream Mat doesn't really work super good in the dredge because of the high velocity and the blowout and the problem. But we'll find out when we test the mat, and the results will be what they're going to be. And I got a bunch of videos, and I made a bunch of videos because I kind of got on this grind. I'll show people. I made a bunch of videos comparing a bunch of product, and I chose not to release them. And the reason I chose not to release them is it's so much nicer and so much funner when someone spontaneously, unscripted, from another place says, oh, we love your product, look at what it's doing, and you see the video. That's fun. And we want to keep this fun. We want to be fun, fun, fun. We don't want to bring the stink into it. And so those other videos I did comparing product, I'm biased. I like my stuff best. So I kind of
I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
you're supposed to. If you don't, why are you messing with it?
Yeah, but we really want other people that aren't involved in the money trail, so to speak, and really, get excited about this. I have people about every month. Well, I get a lot of emails from really interesting people. We won't talk about those, but I get a calls from people about once a month all over saying, hey, I want to distribute your email. I can't believe how good they were. And right now, we're trying to do that, but with you guys, we're letting you guys sell them. As many as you want to buy, you can sell them. That's the only deal I got going on there. And so if they buy them, they can sell them. I don't care. But we don't really see, us being a big manufacturer, distributing warehouse for a couple of years because we're going to be focused more on product. But it's going to come eventually. It's like Dustin in Australia. He sells them and makes them there because we entered a contract. And that really worked out good because we couldn't afford to ship them to Australia. So it's coming, but at its paces. And I'm doing my best to keep the costs low. Even though at the beginning I have all the upfront costs, all I'm doing is I pay for labor, materials, and the rest is out there. And but you know what? It's fun, and it's gonna come back. It's slowly doing its thing, and so really exciting seeing actually. Sorry, Jesse, but it's really exciting seeing this company like birth. It's becoming a company, and it's not just a product. It's not just a little thing. And eventually, I think Dream Mat will be a company, and it will have products, and we'll probably stay in the mat business, and we'll have great people like Dustin building high bankers for us, and we'll have someone else maybe building them for him in the United States, either sporting his model or somebody else. And we're not going to try and be something we're not. We're just going to be Dream Mat. We're not going to try and capture the world. And have a great time doing it. And I love seeing the videos. I love watching the videos of people for no other reason than being excited, putting on YouTube and on Facebook their videos of what Dream Mat's doing. And there was a time when I first started selling Dream Mat that I was seeing a video almost every day. Now it's about once a week, or more. But people are really responding well to the product.
Well, the people we've shown the mini mat to, where Ed and I have been. I mean, the thing that gets them the most is the easy cleanup. You know how they're just amazed by the simplicity of cleaning this mat out, and the fact that it catches gold as good as it does. You know, but the simplicity. Because some of the people we deal with too are older, like me, old but not dead, right, Ed? So anything that makes the job easier for themselves or their wives, they really appreciate it. That right there sells it.
Anticipated how easy the product is to use. I wasn't going, okay, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to conquer that. Everything was kind of geared around the recovery. The recovery was the number one thing. If I couldn't catch all that small gold and have losses that were acceptable, meaning like that it wasn't worth going after, and it wasn't even, it was losses to the point where you could laugh at them and it was okay. You could be totally okay with what the mat was doing in its environment. And then somehow in all that, we got unclassified feed. So classified feed works better, of course. But if you don't have peak time to classify, all the more better. We're running boulders over rocks over this thing and it's catching fine gold, big gold. I mean, like sinker, split shot, bullet type sinker gold, in flat big gold, and it's catching the small stuff. And also the concentrates, when I go to dump my mat for one time, they're like not even a third of the other high-end mats. And they're not, and also if you want to compare it to like a regular old traditional carpet sluice or miner's moss, oh my gosh.
Oh, shit.
There's such a world of difference there. And
big difference.
It cleans out so fast. You throw it in the tub and boom, it's done. In fact, actually, the Australians, I love their videos where they take the mat, into the gold pan. These guys are such show-offs. Guy goes, hey, I'm going to show a video tonight, Dave, and I'm going to show you how to clean out your mat. Here's a guy, I designed it, and I get this email message from this guy telling me he's going to show me how to clean out the mat. And he takes it and he dips it into the gold pan without spilling any of the dirt like this and goes, there, that's how you clean out your mat. Not even using a bucket. And I'm just laughing. People are having a great time.
Yeah, that's the way I do it.
It's a great time with this product. And me, if I tried to do that on film, the mat would slip out of my hands. It would flop on the ground. And there'd be stuff everywhere. And I'd be like, that was real cool. But anyways, so
yeah, I know. I do the same thing. My green mat goes right into my pan. Bloop, bloop, done.
I love how easy it is to clean up, and I love the mini mat, David, so much I tore that other mat right out of my second tray. Boom, no problem. And I saw Dana was in the room talking about how gold he already worked a couple times at home. He brought it up, ran it through the cube with the double minis in it. And
this is one of my friends. My wife's just came back from horseback riding. This is my wife's horseback
riding partner.
Hi.
So
live entertainment for you.
Now here's my new cat, and my wife is coming in the room. Get in the picture here, wife. Okay.
Get them all in.
Facebook Live. Here's the second half. See,
it's YouTube Live.
YouTube Live, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, this product here, I give this product to people, and they have all these concentrates that they're afraid to throw away because they know there's a little gold in it, and they're thinking one day, I'll be in my shed with Ed. I'm teasing. And I'll have the blue bowl, and I'll bore myself to death, and I'll try and get that few flakes of gold. And they run their material, and you can run it at a higher feed rate, and run the material so quickly over this without worrying about, especially if you have a bunch of trays, overburden or overfeeding it. And then they clean it out, and they go, oh my gosh, look at all that gold I just found. And that was already run through the system before. And then they're like, you know, and then I thought, well, you know, that's just because I ran it again. So then I ran the product again, the material again, and I didn't find hardly nothing. Because nothing catches it all, guys. I'm, you know, don't ever hear, you know, there's good recovery, and there's great recovery. Then there's this. We're hoping, for whatever reason, that this is like the next level recovery, and just think about this. And I hope you guys see this. This is 1 year's work, production work for a guy like myself, coming up with a product that somehow I could get out to the people. I developed the manufacturing process, the molds, the hard molds to the soft and all this stuff, because I couldn't get no one to do it for me for an affordable rate. So I had to do this all backyard. I mean, this is all local, built by local friends helping me out. President of the Prospecting Club pours the mats. Now another guy's actually going to be doing it because he's too busy now. And all this other stuff is going on, where this is just a result of, you know, a little bit more than a year's worth of work in study. Where's this product going to be in 5 years? What's it going to look like? What's this going to be made out of? You know, and I'm willing to change with improvement. So, not to say we want to change the product all the time so people are afraid to buy it. No, I hope that ain't what people are seeing. But if we see a product that somehow we can make this better, you know, and people saying, "Well, I want this," we'll look at it. We'll look at where it's going to go, and just look at what we learned making a mat. Fill that request for the cube. Everybody said, "I want a mat for my cube, Dave. I want a mat for my cube." And look at what we learned just in filling that request. You know, it took about a year. We learned so much, and we got such a great product. And hopefully that keeps happening. And hopefully it happens with the dredge. Hopefully the dredge mat really does something really cool. And we hope that it's a success. And we hope we can get the Prospctors' hands. That's the hope. And we'll see where that road takes us. And we're excited about that. That's fun stuff. Yep. I saw you guys doing that. Yep, on the videos. And we have a lot of guys power sluicing dredge combo, where meaning they got a dredge that spills into a high banker, and they're basically, we got people that are using the high banker grizzly to classify off the bigger stuff, and it goes into the sluice. And we got actually people with a 2-inch dredge, like Caleb Bennington. He does it, and he 2-inch sluices and pours everything right out onto the mat in a high banker.
I had my mic turned off, Dave. I had a technical issue, a blonde moment on my end. I had my mic off to the audience. So okay. Let me back up, pedal back. I was telling David, guys and gals, if Carrie or Kathleen or any of them are out there, that we had a mat. You've seen the video of us getting it, a sluice box made by Bucket Billy Sluice, but Jesse and I use that as a power sluice. Many of you seen in videos. Yep. And I was telling David how great it worked. I like the way it works. The more I use it, the more I liked it. It reminds me of the bucket, Jesse. But I was telling David, guys, I can't imagine how well his dredge mat's gonna be when he gets it fine-tuned in. Sorry, David, back to you, buddy.
It's okay. It's easy. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully the dredge mat does work out, and hopefully, you know, we got some people that are going to be giving us some reports, and Liberia, they're going to be dredging all season with the regular mats, but they're running a like really silty, sandy material, really long sluice. They're going to be dredging with the mats. We got some people off the grid in a couple areas that are they don't want me talking about their stuff, and so I won't. I'll respect them, but they're going to be dredging with the mats, regular mats, and they're doing a classified feed. And we got some Bering Sea stuff going on. The guy didn't pull it off this year. He isn't going to be floating this year, but he wants to run the mat in a dredge up there. We were hoping to see it this year. I was excited about it, but it didn't happen. You can't blame people. People have financial issues. You know, it's hard to get up there and afford to do that. And also, we're hoping to see, you know, I'm going to be giving the product to a few people who are going to be going up to the beaches in Nome this year that are going to be heading up in a little bit. So hopefully we'll see how they like it up there.
Oh, if they're running into the cube mats, they're going to love it.
Yeah, and hopefully they do. We got a guy that processes he's kind of independently employed, and he does a lot of things. One of the things he does is he has 5 cube stacks, and he processes beach sand, the black Oregon gold beach sand, Washington sand, and then he sells the pay dirt, the cons off of it for pay dirt. And I sent him some mats, and he was blown away. And he retrofitted his whole systems and bought other mats. And he says he can process. He goes, you know, his job, and so that's the cool stuff that I enjoy hearing. And they show me the results, and they show me how fast it was for him. And I'm going, that's what we're talking about. You know, the it's not just about recovery, but recovery is cool. We want great recovery. We don't just want great recovery. We want epic, legendary recovery. We want recovery, like I said, where the person runs the system right, doesn't goof it up, and everything can be goofed up, you know, but runs it right. And I kind of feel it's almost foolproof, but you can say that about everything. It's not true.
Right. Oh, no.
And they should be able to, against their old system, go, oh my gosh, you're kidding. That's what we want to see. Because if it's like, yeah, no, this works about the same as the air product, it really doesn't work it to be around. And we're hoping like people like excited like you do. Like you and Jess have got a very excited, you know, saying, hey, we love it. And
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, you know, there's some people you're not going to be able to convince no matter what.
Well, that's okay.
You know, they're set in their ways, and that's okay. You know, but
it's okay.
But
we're not religious. Yeah.
Right. You got to give new things a try. I mean, we can't get better if we don't keep trying new stuff. I belong to a gold club, and they're mostly older members, and they're, you know, have a certain way of doing their big digs and how their boxes set up. Right. Like a couple of my dream mats and a few of those boxes, and some folks love them, and some folks, you know, they aren't really interested in changing because they're at that age where they're like, you know, it's okay. And you know what? I go hang out with these guys every once in a while. Because I'm so busy. Every time they say, Dave, we got to dig this weekend, and it's like, you know, I've been working so hard, I'm going camping with the family. And it's funny. It's like, Dave, you got to come up here. And I do. I make about 2 digs a year, and they thank me for being bad and not going up there and hanging out more with them. But, you know, I got 2 young kids, so, you know, people got to understand it's about fishing. Oh, yeah.
Fishing and camping.
I had a couple of them.
Too.
You know, this next weekend, we're going fishing and camping. And that's what it's about.
There you go.
Taking care of the business and the season I'm in. That's why I got other people help me do this stuff, like Dustin. And you guys are going to start helping me, which is really crazy. You know, it's awesome that you guys like the product that much that you're
here's what it is. It's the fact that the people that we show it to, and I've given a couple away to a couple friends. They love it. Look, Caleb loves it. He's a friend of ours.
Yeah, he brought up Caleb.
You know, like you were talking. Right. That's what I'm saying. He's a friend of ours. There's some video with him running his 2-inch high banker with it in there. Yeah, we've if we like the product and it's something we're going to use, we like it. We use it. You know, like the other products that we've tested. I mean, I was telling Ed one day, we need to get a product that we don't like.
I was just thinking about that too, Jesse.
This product
You know?
is bad. We just want
Yeah, this was terrible, man. Well, we haven't found one yet. But we're gonna call your buddy there at Gold Getters, though. Yeah, we're gonna see him. I'm gonna see if I can talk to him. See what he wants to do.
I told Jesse about that.
So, yeah, with I bought that for my boy at a prospecting show. I saw the guy use it, and I said, I'm getting one for my boy. I brought it home, showed my boy. The very next weekend, I said, we'll probably go prospecting. So he's 8 years old. So what is he here? We're going prospecting. And we didn't. And we went camping instead, but we didn't go prospecting. And he was crying because coming home from the camping trip, we're coming home from the camping trip, he starts crying. And I'm like, what's your problem back there, mister? You know, there's no crying in baseball. We just went camping. And he goes, I never got to use my new prospecting thing. And I'm like, oh, man. And so, you know, kids want to have fun too, you know? And that there, and I promised him we'll go out and we'll do it again. We did. And he got his fix. So,
yeah, I saw the video you posted of that. That was pretty cool.
It was pretty funny, you know. He's all talking about how he has to go prospecting, and he does his thing, and then it's like, hey, get over here, shovel some dirt, and they're like, oh, no, swimming. It's like, all right. So,
kids for you, especially at that age.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. They're all over the map, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, they got an attention span of about 8 seconds, so. Anything that'll keep them occupied for longer than that's good.
Yes,
you know, because an 8-year-old, their attention span is really short. So you can't, you can't try to explain something to them that takes you a half hour to explain, because it's not going to happen. You know, you can't show them something that's going to take them, 20 minutes to even do. It ain't going to happen. You got to give us something that's quick, fun, and they can move on to the next thing, or move on to the next level.
They start with scooping dirt into my sluice with these little buckets I give them. So it starts with scooping a couple dirt, and they're watching me, and I'm saying, good job, to them waiting to see if I'm looking and just throwing rocks at the sluice. And I'm like, going, guys, come on, Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
See, Ed's been posting some of the pictures and stuff that you've got on your website there. A lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I got some big applications I had fun with and great success so far, which is really exciting. Is everything I've seemed to have got into with DreamMat in larger stuff applications has been successful. The mine up in Alaska, they're pretty hush-hush, and even though I made the video and they said that was okay, it's pretty funny how people are kind of, just want their own thing going. But we just, the product is, I think, really is the most important thing about the product is that it's fun. That is really what I think is going to make the product, over how good it works, over all the other pluses. People are going to be able to have another level of fun out there prospecting, where it's going to save them time and energy, and so that's good, because, we all don't want to work too hard. We just want to have fun. We all want it to be easier. Some people like to drink beer when they prospect, so they can only work so hard. I'm teasing. And some people like me, we talk too much when we prospect, so we got to have the product. It's got to be easier, because
me and Ed know about that. Let me tell you, we went down to North Carolina for 10 days or 9 days, and only did any prospecting for 1 day. Where we actually got in the stream and got the gold snares out and ran them and dredged. So, but the rest of the time we were here and there and talking to this person, talking to that person. So we know what that's all about. Yeah.
It was funny is I get a lot of people I sell sluice mats to, and then they make reorders, and I ask them why, and he goes, "Well, I borrowed my mat to my friends, and they won't get it back." And I sold some mats to a miner and a small scale, little commercial one, not really a mom pop, but himself kind of thing with a couple guys. In his other buddy down the creek, or the other claim over, borrowed the mats, put them in his box, and he refused to give them back. And it's like, I more mats because so and so won't give them back. He says he's keeping them, and I'm like, really? And he goes, "How's that work?" He goes, "Well," he said, "he'd rather give me money than give me mats back." So I'm like, wow, So it's got to be fun, And the product is at that, like cell phones, if they had cords on them and we had the rotary dial and they were hard to use, it would be fun, but they
Right.
funner. And so, and that's kind of like the mat. The mat is funner. It's not just people say, well, it's, get all serious, it's got to work better, but it's fun, and that's what I really like about this product is all the time.
Not only is it fun, if you're the serious prospector or serious miner, it's a mat that is serious right with you, so it has that.
I get more compliments, in heartfelt compliments, and people saying thank you and spending time being nice on the phone to me, people that are just our average prospectors, that it's so much funner. And they used to go out, and prospecting used to be a little bit hard because I don't want to say it's the bad way, but I'm going to say it honestly. There's a lot of people out there that are disabled and they're older in their age and they're not as equipped as the younger people are. Or the
do you know how old I am?
Oh,
we know Dirt's younger than you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
So
older than Dirt, you got it.
And they're like, I was thinking about, kind of limiting my prospecting this year because I just ain't really up to it. And he goes, I'm really starting to have fun prospecting again with your product because it's so much easier. So I don't have to classify, I don't have to, and they're basically saying it's a lot easier for them to get the flash in their pan. And the other thing is fun. This is what makes it fun. I have people that say, well, there ain't no gold in that creek, or there ain't no gold in your area. And they're part of a prospecting club. But they're living in areas that, well, I'm sorry, it sucks for gold. They say it even sucks for gold. And so they go out, and this is an area where they bought the other equipment, they're running the other people's stuff, and they're not really getting anything at all. They're getting skunked. I have people call me and say, no, I usually get skunked. And someone said there was no gold in that creek, and I used your mat, and I ain't telling nobody for a while that I'm getting gold, so I can get it all first. Because this is what they tell me. Say I'm finding gold. And
right
now where my favorite spot to prospect is where people set their lawn chairs and sit on the creek and look at the side of the creek and watch it run and just enjoy their time because they keep saying, that creek really doesn't got a lot of creek. You gotta go over to the other claim to get gold. Most people just sit down there and pick. And the picnic area is getting smaller because it's all just a sandbar, and I keep digging off all the sand, and it only gets replaced once a year. And so I'm digging where people are sitting, and they're sitting on and get better results in gold recovery than they are the other claim using the other stuff, using the dream map. And if people say, and it's funny, it's because it's right there, but now if a person can go out and dig in areas where there isn't a lot of gold, but there's small gold, even though it isn't a lot, and we know all that small gold, it looks like a bunch, but it really isn't a lot, and no one's getting rich, and this is for fun. At least you see a bunch of color in your pan, and at least you didn't get skunked, and you can go home and say, hey, I found some gold today. It was really cool. That's what it's about. It's fun going and finding gold. It's not fun digging all day and not finding gold. That sucks. And if you can find, even if it's just little gold that will never really add up and you'll never fill a vial, as long as you get those 20 sparkles and you get that flash in your pan, it makes you feel like you accomplished something and enjoyed your hobby some more. And plus the at least they got out. They did something. We know that's good, because not getting out because you're getting skunked would be bad.
Hey, David, I have a question from Ronald. He's from the Midwest, Minnesota, and he has, what is the guiding factor in the purchase size?
or
of the mat or the sluice?
Okay, so we got 3 different size sluices. We got a 12, a 10, and an 8-inch sluice. In a 12-inch is for somebody that can shovel full at a time. Boom, throw it in, and have good water flow. Because if you have little water flow, you got to run a little bit of material. If you got good water flow, you can run a lot of material. So a 12-inch sluice is for someone who wants to shovel a lot. A 10-inch sluice is kind of in the middle. You don't have to shovel a lot, but it will take quite a bit. And most people who buy the 10-inch say they're surprised how much material they can move. And the 8-inch sluice is for a person that, doesn't have quite the water flow, but it'll still process a good amount of material. I just had a guy from Ray from Klondike's Clinkers tell me today that he feels he can process 10 times the amount of material in his 10-inch sluice than in a normal sluice. 10 times the amount of material. But it does require good water flow. So that's what's nice about, people that want to run in smaller streams. When I start selling the 6-inch mats next month, we're going to have a little sluice and people can go into a little stream. And even though it's small, they're going to be able to move quite a bit of material out over it. And what we see most people running through a system, including Ed and Jesse, teasing these guys, you guys can really run a lot more material through the system.
When we hook up the bucket,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's shovel after shovel. It's classified material, but it's shovel after shovel.
But see, it's got to be fun because I went prospecting this weekend by myself to test a piece of equipment, and I had a 12-inch dream mat in it. I lasted 5 hours, and I was done having fun. There's nothing, and everybody, we all get the fever. We all think about, what's going on. And there are some days I go out and I don't move much material, and people ask me, going, well, what's the deal? And it's like, it's not about slaying the giant today. It's about getting out and having fun. And
with me and Ed, sometimes it's about shooting video more than even prospecting. So, that's.
And I moved quite a bit of material, and I had a good time, and I had some good results for that area, especially. And that was good enough. And I came home with a sore back because I have a bad back, which is a bummer. I blew my back out working construction when I was younger. And so I got to nurse it. And working behind a desk all day, I never seemed like everybody else to stay in shape. I got a treadmill and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like everybody else. I want to work all week and then play all weekend and be a weekend warrior. I'm just like everybody else. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I was young. I was young and sexy once, but now I'm getting old like Jesse, and
Yeah, well, I'm still out there doing it. Like I say, I might be old, but I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I'm still out there doing it. I suffer for it later, but I don't care. I'm having too much fun.
My wife gives me a hard time, a lot. So, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I still make it work on Monday.
I'm sold. I
We have
retired
another
already.
question from Jurin, Mr. Lodak. Does David have any plans to sell smaller sections in the future?
So
my fear is clay.
Yeah.
Anything clay.
Yeah, clay. Jaron is in Utah, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes through. He's got an interesting way of prospecting that he does, but it's really cool.
Oh,
but,
well, Jurin, get the mini mats
does
for
get
your
a lot of
cube,
clay.
Jurin. You'll love them. The
there
big one.
So things with the clay is you just gotta give clay time. So with this system here, as long as the clay's busted up, it'll process it. Of course, if the big clay ball rolls over it, you can't help that. And actually, the piece of equipment I just got done testing this weekend, I know it only comes in a 12-inch, like a high banker. It's a speed banker, but we're going to make a smaller one. And power sluicing is a big deal now. Where, like, you got a little sluice like this, and you have it hooked up to a little power head, and you do power sluicing, and so you can set it up and clean it. You don't have to set it in the stream all the time. As long as your boil box or whatever it is busts up the clay, you can run a lot of material over it. So really the equipment's got to do its part and bust up the clay, like your guys' bucket or whatever you got, and then you deliver it to the recovery system. Because what a lot of people you got to remember is, no matter your aluminum box or your bucket, well, I don't know exactly how the gold bucket works, but the mat system is the last thing it sees, and so that's got to be your final recovery and do a good job. I run a lot of clay, and actually the last load I just posted on Facebook, that I'll post the picture again, that pan was all processed from red clay, meaning rusty clay, that right before the clay gets really hard and gray, and it's that rusty clay right on the top. And I threw it in the boil box, and it boiled up and would bust up the clay, and then it would just be the streak of red material going out over it. And a lot of people feel, well, running clay is bad because it makes the water slick and slippery, because and you lose your gold. And the way this vortex system runs, because the gold is slipped underneath those the black fine sands, and it's got a hiding place, and it's underneath there. And even if rocks roll over the sluice mat, it doesn't blow those out unless it's in a really bad position. Nothing's perfect, but you got all these other cells that are going to pick up what's going on. And it does a really good job, and it doesn't load up with clay and pack up with silt because it's so active. It really spins, and it does a good job. And so far, running clay in this system, we've only had one person so far call us and say he had clay pack issues. And I was talking to him, and he was running straight gray clay in a cleanup sluice in a tub in his shop. So there was like no sand, no gravel, no nothing. So there was nothing else but clay. So well, that's that's a challenge. But the stream, you always have black sands and stuff going along with it. And once those cells get active, that clay, as long as the gold as long as it's busted up enough and liberated from the clay, it'll fall out. But we all know clay's an issue, and if the gold doesn't get liberated, the clay will carry it out. But it isn't going to rob the other gold out of my mat. It isn't going to roll over, you see, and rob that other gold out of there because the gold's underneath the black sands. And it isn't going to cause gold loss just from the slick water.
Well, when we were down in North Carolina at Big Mountain, the material there was a lot of clay. That was some nasty clay we had to run there. But at the same time, it still caught the gold. You run the mini green mats in the black box.
One of the things that we see with a lot of other systems, and I didn't really want to get super technical tonight, but I guess I will. I'll spiel over on you for a second. Systems,
you guys always do that.
Systems overburden, they pack up. In developing this product, that was a big challenge. Miner's moss gets packed up and bound up, especially with ironstones and heavy black sands, and stuff doesn't get fluid, and then everything goes over the top. Ripples fill up and your vortex moves out and doesn't work. Conveyor belt matting, it clogs up with a hard pack, which is especially crushed material. A mine crushes material, becomes jagged like if you look under a microscope, it looks like a jigsaw puzzle in triangular shape. All those shapes fall into those holes in the conveyor belt. They just jams up like a log jam. And so all this stuff, there's different materials that get overburdened. And one thing that we've found a lot is that the big mat, also the large mat, but also in the small mat, the people who are running crush love it because we have people that are separating their gold out in centrifuges first with crushed material in trying to get the gold out, and then running it through the dream mat, and actually running the dream mat behind the tailing or the output, the waste put of the centrifuge, because the centrifuges burp and they get unbalanced and they have issues every once in a while. They're real finicky, but they work good when they're working perfect, but they always have a burp, and then that gold goes out the crap tube. And they run the dream mat behind it because it picks it up. And so we're seeing in crushed material doesn't overburden and pack it, and it does a really good job staying active. And so, like Mike Rollins is one of my buddies that has always been interested in my product, and I throw a product at him, he tests it, and he gives me his honest opinion. He goes, "I hate telling you your product works, Dave." And I go, "Why is that?" Because you're gonna get all big-headed about it. And I go, "No," and he goes, "Well, your product works really good. I tested it, I love it." And he's always trying to figure out a way to tell me what didn't work first, because he wants me to, he wants
give the bad news first.
Bias, yeah. But he loves the product. It works good. It solves a lot of his problems and does a great job on recovery. And he was running material through another Vortex vertical sluice made out of aluminum, thick aluminum. Basically everybody knows it's a high-end sluice, costs a lot of money. And he was running his material 3, 4, even more than 4 times sometimes. He still knew there was gold in there. And when the Dream Mat came out, he said, Dave, I just can't believe it's that good. If I run it right, and I take my time, and I run my concentrates through your system, this is a partner system, before the mini mat even. He goes, I could get all my gold and I could throw my cons out, and I don't have buckets of material laying around the shop. And I was at a gold show a couple of years ago in Idaho, and a gal bought the mat, and she was, and then she told me, I'm gonna run home and run all I'll put it in my high banker or my recirculating sluice system, a little high banker in my shop, and I'm gonna run all my old cons through there that I ran through the other system. And I go, oh, okay, that's cool. And the next morning I'm drinking coffee, and I see her over at the Miller table booth, and she's over there talking to the guy, and I walk over there to see what she's going on. And she looked at me and goes, I ran all my material last night, like I said. I go, yeah. And she goes, yeah, like 5-gallon buckets. And I'm like, oh, geez, and she goes, here's the console right now. And the guy in the Miller takes it on the con, and we're looking at this, and she looks, she's starting to hug me going. She goes, oh, I knew I made a good purchase. Because I was this gold we're seeing, and I'm looking at it going like, that is awesome, And she goes, now I can throw all that dirt out, and I can get rid of it. And that's what I get from a lot of people all the time. I mean, I was talking to a gal today at lunch, because I got to be really careful with my deal. I take care of my day job really well. So I was talking to this gal at lunch, and she's all excited, and she's all telling me she hasn't even got the part, and she's all excited about it. And that's what's really fun. You hear about people realizing, hey, I got this great product out there. They've seen it work. Like you said, you showed your people on whining and had fun this summer. Fun to me, shame on you guys. And I'm being retired. And you show people the product, they see it working, they get excited. That is really where it's at.
Well, I saw that at Loud Mind, David. People getting excited. Oh, who's that guy that got a hold of you? What's that guy's name? Jeff. He was right there with us with Croc, and wasn't his name Jeff, Jesse?
I'm terrible.
He got you shared a text or something or a message on Facebook on the Dream Matters group.
Yes,
Jeff.
Jeff.
And he said he bought one off of Jesse down at Loud Mind. He was actually there with Croc, Jesse, and I while we were showing Croc the mat. So talk about getting excited. And
Yep. He's already showed pictures of his the other day of the mats in the box, and he was kind of bummed. They showed pictures and had no results because he got held up and didn't get to go prospecting that weekend, but he's going this weekend. He can't wait to get it going. I have people that I got to share this just because, sometimes you don't get to share stuff like this, but I got to share this. I had a customer call me and say, I need to order her mat. And I'm like, okay, got another sluice going? He goes, no, my wife stole the other mat. And I go, what do you mean your wife? She's going to use it in her sluice? He goes, no, she thought it was so pretty, she framed it, and hung it in our living room.
Some art, huh?
And he goes, I know. She goes, like modern art. She loves it. And so I got to buy another mat. And I'm like going, awesome. I'm like, that is cool. And He's all stole my mat and hung it on the wall.
Dream mat, the multi-purpose stretch sluice mat. Can use it as fine art to the sluice box, to the cube. Yep. I love it.
One of these days, I'll get like a company thing going, and I'm just kind of taking it one step at a time. I know I need to get stickers and hats and shirts, but you know, I gotta slay the little dragons in front of me now.
I understand, David.
And I'm with it is coming. I see that it's really gonna happen. You know, this product is really gonna form a small company, and we're gonna have fun, and I'll have somebody making mats for me, and I'll hopefully develop some other products too. I got a lot of stuff going on the sides, but I don't like talking about that because
that's understandable.
My plans always seem to get pushed out further than what I think they do.
Oh yeah.
And so
hey, but I got a question here from one of the people in the chat room. I want to know if you were planning on being at any of the gold shows. I know the answer, but go ahead.
I don't do the gold shows because it's too taxing for me to drive and be away from the family. And my job, my day job, I can't afford to like jump off Friday after work, take off, come back, and I got stuff. And I just ain't at liberty to do that yet. Hopefully I will one day. You know, if this product takes up enough where it can replace that, I will. I got some other people that have them at the gold shows, like Dave Ulrich, who shows my mats at the gold show.
Right. I've seen it there. Yeah.
Yes, if you and Ed ever went to a gold show, I'm sure you'd sport it. And I've also, a lot of people have called me and said, hey, can I take some of your mats to a gold show? And I go, I would love to send you some mats. And if you want to go to a gold show, you could sell them, and I'll work out a pseudo distributor deal with you, give you enough discount, make it worth your while. So that's always open. And you know, but right now I'd love to go to the gold shows and hang out with people and talk them to death. But I just right now, you know, got to take care of business.
Yeah. Well, and you know, and the reality of that too, that no one's going to sell the mats any better than you.
Well,
you know,
maybe
yourself.
Maybe you and I, Jesse. And speaking of that.
Oh, well.
Speaking of that.
We are going to make sure you put one of those in the box.
Yeah, if you wear
put one of those in the box.
You'll sell a lot more. Here's my youngest. He just came home.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, guys.
Wave, say hi.
You're on YouTube live.
Yeah, you're gonna be on TV live. We'll show later. Like, okay, whatever, Dad.
Yeah, so we are going to have a booth. We are going to have a booth at the Gold Rush this year.
Yeah.
Super.
Selling your product, Dave.
I have to.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Yep. No, Patrick, I don't think we've gotten that far. No, I'm not going to say yes or no. Because that costs money to do a gold show.
Yeah, no, not yet.
But at the Gold Rush days, the Buckeye chapter, GPA, our annual show there, we'll be there. We'll be selling some, demonstrating, and maybe doing some challenges.
You betcha. Have the cube up, the power sluice up, a stream sluice up. Hell, we've been even saying to people, Jesse has, David, let us put our tray on the bottom of yours if you're so confident in that matting. We'll put our cube tray on the bottom, and we get all the gold.
No one's taking me up on the challenge though.
You know, when I challenge people, I always treat it like when I was young and dumb. And we used to drag race all the time. It's about fun. Right. And it also is like, you know, so you would have to goat the other person to race. But it is about fun at the end. You know. Yeah. And it is not this, we're trying to belittle, demean, or make anybody feel
inferior.
You know, if someone wants to race, let's race. Guess what? And no matter what happens, let's have some fun doing it. Let's race.
We get done like a beer or whatever.
I've actually, a lot of people I've challenged I challenged the race, and and they've took me up on it, and they're like, well, we're not going to put that on YouTube, are we? And I go, no, we don't have to. It's about fun. Let's just have fun. And they walked away with a dream matter, and I got a dream matter going, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, this really is more about fun than it is about anything else. Because if this can't be fun, no one's going to get involved in it, and that's what it's got to be about. You know, you're not going to. It's not customers either, just making money. This thing, it's a passion for me, as far as the mat itself and versus some other things, and I can't wait to the end of this season. Well, actually, the end of Australia's season. Sorry, their season's a little bit different.
Did they already start? Or are they getting close to the end, or what?
Some publications from their mining journals, and we see their product, and I'm going to be excited, really excited, and feel like a good goal, a really cool goal, when we see Dream Mat in a standard industrial worldwide.
That'd be cool.
That's going to be really cool, and it's coming. We're developing it right now, and we got 3 other industrial people online. They're like, yeah, commercial, mom and pop, small commercial. Okay, no. So it's commercials, a mom and pop thing going on, and then we got like large commercial. Okay, you can show your sluice. Come on, gotta show it off.
Yeah, we were talking about that, little buddy.
So, and then you got industrial, which is larger than commercial. And so this is some small industrial product, but we got a large industrial product we're working on with some engineers. And if that comes about, you know, and it takes time, and everything does take time in development, and usually it goes through and it's going through a prototype phase or a beta phase, and then before it goes to their first alpha tool. If that works, that product gets launched. That's going to be a big deal. And I also got people talking to me about coal, clean coal. And that's just all talk right now, but just the fact that they're talking to me is kind of really like, wow. So the product itself is like, I can't believe where it may go in the next couple of years. But we'll see. Time will tell. You never know. It could just, you know, we'll see.
Now, David, when the unicorn farted with this idea, did you ever dream that it'd get this far?
I never dreamed it would get this far this fast, but when me and my uncle were testing the first, so I tested the first deal where it started working. I mean, it was almost like Star Wars. It's working, you know, Anakin's on this stuff. Anyways, this thing is working, and I got this prototype of cream cheese cups and plywood and veneer plywood and duct tape, and that's what it was. I mean, this thing is like, my uncle let me back into his shop. I said, let me try this one thing. He's helping his relative on his car. And they came in and saw what was going on. And he goes, well, let's run some material over it and see what it does. And we had like 20 buckets of material that we had took all the gold out of through all the other processes. And we just had salt. We would just have to salt gold, and we figured we catch lead and catch gold. And so, and he got his special buckets that are for him, because he buys pay dirt and has buckets for mines, and people give him dirt. He's kind of been prospecting his whole life. You know, he's got guys, you open up a safe, and yeah, it was amazing. So, you know, so I run this bucket of dirt that we know has lead in it, but there's no gold. We just want to see how it works. And so I run this bucket of dirt over it. It's classified. It was a 1/4 inch classified. I run it over the system, and then we're starting to pan out the results. And I'm sitting here doing the pan thing, and he's watching me, and he's all excited because it looked like it was working. We could see the cell spinning, because remember, this looked like the bigger one, the first system. And then I start doing the little, you know, slopping that black sand off like you do in your pan to let the black sand come off to see the gold. Here's just gold. Just fine. I'm talking like they're seeing. And he starts hitting, because he's mad. What are you doing running my good dirt through your stupid test? And I'm like, no, this is the regular dirt. This is the old dirt with the lead in it. It's lead in it. And then he hits again and says, why are you putting lead in my good dirt? And I go, no, this isn't good dirt. It's my dirt. And his light bulb turned on the same time I did it. We both looked at each other spontaneously. And at the same time, it cold, all the other systems didn't. At the same time, we're talking to each other. It was like a revelation to us. That this at this time, and there was we couldn't catch it in the other systems. In this on and that's where we came up with the thing, pixie dust. That this system. So the saying is, even though Ed says it differently, the system works so good it'll pull the sparkles off a unicorn's fart. So that saying came from because it pulled out the sparkles the other systems couldn't. Yep. So, oh yeah, and that's how the unicorn became the mascot for this product. So yeah. So because
well, you know what? When I first got the first time I got a mat from you, the very first mat, I actually ran 7 buckets of material that I've been hanging on to, that's been run through many different systems, many different mats, different ways, and I ran all 7 buckets through those mats, and found gold again. What can I say? What more can I say?
Yeah. And one of the things that was like with the mat, that's why the unicorn kind of was the thing, is that it was almost like a joke. You wanted it to get the point across that this mythical gold recovery. This is fair. And because everybody says, "Oh, it can't look that good," and it's like, well, instead of trying to convince people in a browbeating way and trying to be technical and mean and get all sour and make it not fun, let's just make fun with it. We'll just say it's mythical, it's unicorn, it's a fairy tale, and just make it a joke. And that's kind of like, keeping the fun in it. It's like, this is just unicorn gold recovery, and people enjoy that, the fact that, yeah, it works really good, but we're not going to get too weird about it. We're just going to have fun with it,
That's no point. I mean, like I said, there's some people you're never going to change their mind on what they use and how they recover gold. People that make their own product, that's, to them, they have the best. So
I had 2 haters so far. So I haven't had a mat.
Only 2.
2 haters. I mean, haters as in, they trolled me.
Well,
forever.
you know what they say, David. If you got haters, you're doing something right.
So, I've never had a mat returned. I've never had a person unhappy, except for 2 people. 2 people that bought my product, and then they basically said, they're going to ruin me. They're going to whatever. The whole thing, they trolled me forever. And then I would always tell them, I go, well, send the mats back. And I always joke about this, that I joke about to some people. I go, I got 2 haters, and they wouldn't even send the mats back. I go, I couldn't even get them to send the mat back because, and I'm asking them, I go, well, if it's so bad and it's so worthless, send it back. I'll give you your money. And I do. I have a 100% money back guarantee on this product. If you don't love it, send it back. I'd rather have you send it back and you convinced that it doesn't work than be out there saying the mat product don't work. And so far, no one's took me up on that deal yet. I haven't had a mat come back. And we sold about 3,000 of them worldwide, about 3,000 of them, just coming up on 3, right about there. Dustin sold more than half of them, or around there. I gave up counting around 1,500 on my side. I just gave up counting. I don't know how many Dustins has sold. And people love them. They put them in small wash plants. They put them in their own sluices. And like you say, industrial people looking at them, and people so far they really like them, and it's exciting. And I really excite guys taking the time out to talk to me about it, and being excited about it. But it's pretty funny that I find comical as a designer that I put so much time into this thing, and if I look back, it seems like 20 years ago, but it's only been about 5 years, almost. Right. But it seems like this long time. In was it last year? My wife and my kids my kids sat down with me. My wife sat me down and said we need to have a family talk. And I said, what's to talk about? They go, it happens this year, and you figure out how to manage this, or it doesn't, because we want our boys want their dad back, and I want my husband back. Meaning, you gotta have to figure out a way to make this work without being there all the time. And I said, well, the mat's just getting ready to launch, and hopefully they'll take off. And she goes, well, your last product, you said the same thing. We invested all this time, money into it, and you said it worked great, but not a lot of people bought it. And I go, it was too difficult, and it didn't provide that need. But this product, I think, is going to be different. He goes, regardless, if you think it's going to be different, the deal is this summer we're going camping and fishing, and you're coming with, and you got to figure out how to work. So I got people to help you with it. Got people to help me cast it. Got people to help me, when he boxes them, ships them for me. I just give them the orders, and so I don't have to have 2 jobs really, except for I didn't think I would have 2 jobs, except for that was so exciting that I ended up having fun this year, which is this year was supposed to be about fun, and I had been having fun, but this summer instead, I was supposed to get it all done in the spring, but I had some problems because that's life. I was supposed to get all done in the spring so I could go camping, but all spring I've been developing 3 new map products you know of, and about 7 other that nobody really does know of that are with development with other stuff. So
no, are you going to start bringing out a new mat every other month?
No. No. The other stuff is a commercial stuff dealing with engineers.
Oh, okay.
So no, the mini map really did kind of take us away from. I thought we'd have one big mat, and that would be it, and it would fit in all the applications. And actually, the mini mat, because the prospector who cut the 12-inch mat up and put it in their cube and ran it all season and said, "This is great, we got to do this." And that's how this product got developed even better to meet it. I never thought there would be this, because I really wanted to keep it just this product for simplicity and for elegance, and not be one of those people, like you say, every month come up with a new different style. No, this really is the base product for hands in right now, small dredging, high bank, and this is the product. This gets you there. This covers 99% of the product. But this finer mat will allow you to run concentrates, beach sands. In this right here is what you're going to see this in a 3-foot mat, because once I put it in the cube and showed people, and of course, what do a lot of people do with the cube? They are on the beaches. They said, "Dave, what if I don't want a cube? Can I have a mat, not have a cube?" So that
I saw where people were putting 3 mats together and putting them in a sluice box.
Yep. So this product, which is the little guy for people who are sluicing little stuff and having fun, kiddie sluice, and then the concentrator mat that people will be able to run their cons over, so they get done dredging, they get done high banking, they get done whatever. They can put this in a regular cleanup search sluice in their shop, and they could run their concentrates, so they could turn a 5-gallon bucket of concentrates into less than a third of pan cons and pan it out. And actually, if all it's magnetic, you don't have to spin it off. Oh, spin off your magnetics. Shame on you.
We gotta spin it off.
Spin it off is awesome, because fine gold is very fine. Flat gold is hard to get out of black sands because it's a piece of paper amongst a bunch of boulders. So it's not about how much the gold weighs, because no matter how much that gold weighs, because it's so flat, it can never get through the boulders. And that's what it looks like in a microscope. So people will sit there and they'll do the black sand thing, and then they'll suck up some gold, and they do it, and they see more gold each time. They wonder, how come I can't pan out all my flat gold? It's physics. It's not physics in a different way, not just density. So if they take their spin it off and they remove all their black sands out of their cleanup mat, now they're going to have, at the most, a half a cup of concentrates with no black sands. And when you don't have black sands in your pan and you pan, it's like you're one of those dudes on Gold Rush. You're like the best pan in the world. the gold just falls out. And you almost don't even need a miller table. The miller tables are cool and fun, and I have one and I love it. But you can almost get all your gold out right there in the pan. And so that's what that's about. So the bigger mats are for the beach. The bigger one will be for the beach box. We'll have the smaller ones that fit just the cube. And then we'll have the concentrator mat so people can run black sands over this too. You know, but this allows you to be more of a sluice angle. You can run black sand. You can run sand over this. You know, the reason that this will work better for just pure black sands like beaches have is because it'll help hold the material in there longer, give it time to process. Because the beach sands, where it's like 80% black sand, they're way more challenging than just sand. Get gold out. So it's not that this is easy, you know. So anyway, so we got some. I can't believe I got all these different products right now because it was like 3 mats or 1 mat, 3 different sizes. That's it. You know, put my foot down. We're going to make sure we're going to do this and we're not going to change anything. And then it's funny. I got so many people my messenger list on my phone, I get messages all the time. And I sit at home at night and I open up my messenger and I look at it. And there are people I've talked to the day before and they're 30, 40 people down. And I got all these people asking about mat products, you know. And I'm like, no, I know I need to look at these new messages, but I need to. Where's that conversation I was having with that guy today? I need to talk to him. And I'm so bad with names. And it's pretty funny. And a lot of people say, Dave, your voicemail don't work on your phone. It's like, really? No kidding? Yeah, it never will because I'm not taking. Yeah, because I gotta have some family time. But it's awesome. It's just great stuff. You know,
I was wondering why it was taking you so long to answer me sometimes, half a day or day.
I have people that get a hold of me on the messenger and they go, I thought you were going to send me a mat and I'm waiting. Oh, when did we last talk? Yesterday. And I'm like, oh, I already forgot. I'm sorry. And I try. And that's why, you know, I got and those are always the deals on the side where I send someone a demo mat or it's got a blemish or damage, you know, and we do this little deal. But if you want a mat right away, I got lots of inventory. You hit the website, boom, you get it because don't have to be responsible. I just got to click the little button and it gets ordered and it gets sent off. And it's I say it ships that week, but really it's 2 or 3 day shipping, usually ships next day. The only time it don't ship next day is because the president of my prospecting club who ships them is out prospecting and have a day.
Playing, not working.
Then I have to go to the shop and box them and ship them, or else he usually ships them next day. So if it doesn't ship next day, it's because he's out prospecting and Dave's got to ship them. But that rarely happens.
So at this point, you're still just pretty much doing them yourself, right? I mean, you don't.
Not really. The orders are automatic. They go to Braxton. He ships them, processes them for me, and he does it all. He's my shipper and molder, and I got a new guy starting up because Braxton's actually going to stop doing it because he's tired of having 2 jobs too. He was just supposed to be helping me, and this was supposed to be fun, but it turned into a job. And now he said, now that it's a job, David, you need to find someone to do this full time. And I'm really sad because he's so awesome and he's helped me so much. And but I got a new guy starting to help me out.
Pay him.
Well, I do pay him. Yeah. He's the one who gets the check. I don't. And he molds them, makes them, and so I got a new guy doing that. And he's awesome because he's been in a big job like this before, managing people, and so he, and it's just himself, but he's a good attention to detail. So we're transferring over to him in his shop, and he's going to be making them. And then so basically, I just help develop the product, get the molds made, and develop how the things get put together, and then I set them free. So I don't have to be working in the evenings. So if I'm working on something in the evenings, it's R&D, it's development. It's not production. So, and then it's automatic. So, but when people ask for specials and favors, and they got to deal with me, and then that's where it all breaks down. Because Dave. You keep bugging me. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I know.
Yeah.
I hate saying that. But the website thing's automatic. Dustin set that up for me. Dustin's awesome. He's He is such a great partner. And I gotta say this. Oh, geez, hopefully out of time. Robert in Sweden, Pay Dirt SE. He's gonna start making mats and selling mats for me in Sweden. He came aboard. Wow. We went through Robert Carlson. He's Pay Dirt SE is the name of his company. He develops and he sells high bakers, and builds them, and he's gonna be putting my mats in them. He's in Sweden. He's gonna be. We just went through all the rigmarole that me and Dustin went through, and we're gonna be. He's gonna be making and selling the mats in Sweden. He's even got a salesperson that works in the north end of the Nordic or the Arctic Circle areas, kind of Norway and stuff. So it's really cool. Now I don't have to ship to UK no more, and so now we'll have them being made in the UK and made in the United States. So now I got these people. Now I got these people helping me, so that's what makes it really cool, is that I don't have to do it all myself. And also they get their product cheaper because it's made local. They don't have to pay all that high shipping, and that's going to make it even more attractive to all the UK market, is that they're going to have a cheaper product and it's going to be right in there with the others. And I'm gonna cut this loose just to scare people, because this is going to be funny. Next year we're going to see thermoforms. We're going to see thermoforms next year. We were going to try and do it this year, but we decided we were too busy and we got to have a life, and we're going to wait till next year.
Okay.
So that's going to be exciting. So you're going to see thermoform sluices, backpacking sluices, thermoform sluices next year in DreamHack. It's
awesome.
Very cool.
Can't wait to try one.
Would that be the sluice with the mat all together as built in one piece?
It's all one form, like a La Trappe or a Mickey.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Yeah. So, and what's driving that is the UK market wants it, the African market, West Africa and South Africa, driving that market. And really what's the first purchasers of it are going to be in quantity is the South American, or should I say Colombia market, because it costs so much to mail that heavy sluice box and the heavy mats to these places. It makes it hard for the people in their economy because it's lower.
Oh, right, yeah. Just shipping alone.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to have that nests and ships good. And they have the Dream Mat. You mucking me? And we have the Dream. So we have the great product, and they've tested it, and they bought it, and they love it, but it just doesn't fit their cost model. So now we're going to have a very affordable product that is going to go out. And there's some interest in that in up north too. And I got great help up north. Gino's been selling my mat from Eureka Gold Sands. Sorry, I had a mental block there. And then Paul Jarvis, he's a guy that's going to be an up and coming big deal. He's going to start, maybe this fall. It looks pretty close. That he's going to be opening a shop and be selling high banking equipment sporting my Dream Mats. And he's been a great asset because he's been out on the river showing people the mat. People see it. They see it running. They love it. And Dino sells it online. And, so I ship to him and he sells to Canadians. So that's kind of been a great asset also, having people that, like yourselves, they see the product, they love it. They've tried the other products, they love it, and they want to be involved. And that is a big compass. Gino went to a show in Canada, and I sent him a whole bunch of mats. Actually, he was worried that I sent him too much, and he was going to be worried how he was going to pay for them all. And he sold out. And during the show, he texted me and said, "Can you send me some mats like overnight?" And I go, "Nothing customs overnight. It's impossible to get through customs overnight. You're just going to have to be sold out." And he sold out show up there of Dream Mats. And you should have seen the buzz from that one.
Oh,
folks
I
bet.
Out there of the product.
Well, like what we were saying earlier, we plan on doing some demos with it. Have it run in different ways, like we always do. And if we got mats there, I'm sure that once people start, actually using them, they'll like them and they'll buy them. I mean, it's been that's the way it's been happening since we, you know, since I got that box from you. I mean, people go, yeah, I want to buy some. That Jeff dude borrowed money to buy his bat.
Right. Borrowed it from another LDMA member. Hey, David, we have a question here from my friend Terry Baker from Washington State. He's like, so these compare favorably to my Black Magic table then? I'm sure your new cleanup mat would, even though I believe the Black Magic table is more like a Miller table, isn't it? But I'll let you answer that, David.
My mats are not cleanup systems, meaning it cleans the gold free of everything else. My mats capture the gold in my mats capture the fine gold and it doesn't clean the gold.
Okay, yeah, the table would be more like cleaning. Your final cleanup.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of people ask me for a cleanup product, and right now I just don't have the time. and I don't even know if it'll happen. So that's like, yeah, whatever. But my mats need that black sand in the cells to capture that gold. So you always it's a concentrator. And so a cleanup system like the Black Magic and also the Miller tables, that's a true clean, a final clean step, or like a shake table shakes it off. That's a final clean process, or a blue bowl final clean process. Now, one thing though, which is interesting, and I'm not saying this in a negative way against these products, we see people running the Dream Mat behind shaker tables have 4 different spouts or 3 different spouts usually. In final clean, in a rerun, in a waste, or a crush and rerun, or whatever they want to do with it. And then there's a lot of it are stuff, blue bowls, Miller tables, and stuff. We are seeing people running the Dream Mat behind these products because we're humans and we run stuff too fast, goop it on, too slow, water levels. There's always room for error, and it's just a catch system. And we are seeing people a lot saying, hey, man, your Dream Mat catches more gold than this system does because I'm catching gold after cleaning my gold. It's like, no, you understand. We're humans. We put too much black sand and we goop it on the Miller table, and, of course, we're going to lose some gold. Or the water is running too fast or too slow. Or the blue bowl has varying water pressure. Or the shaker table isn't set right. And there's all these different things that happen. And no piece of equipment is perfect, but if you have a catch behind it, then you may catch something in your unperfect your setup and be able to rerun it. And we see a lot of people running the Dream Mat behind centrifuges, behind jigs, wave tables, and they're saying, buddy, you know, this thing is a great system, and it doesn't catch a lot of cons, so I don't have to rerun all of my stuff again.
Right, you got to rerun everything you ran already. Just go through what's
it. I just take it back, and I get that loop. And he goes, and so far, everybody I've been talking to says it's been worth their while to rerun that material because there's been enough gold in it. It wasn't like, well, that was a waste of time. And so I see a lot of people talking about that. I'm not trying to compete with that market, but it's cool. And you hear people saying, so that fine gold recovery and that. The mines, the engineers. I talk to a lot of engineers because we're involved in 4 different projects. Couple in Australia, in one over here, in the United States, and these engineers are really trying to figure out where the mat drops off and where it excels. And so we're playing in this zone right now, and I get a lot of input from engineers saying, "Man, this thing." It really has great potential to be developed into something that's really phenomenal. And to hear that a lot it's super exciting because I don't know where this product's going to be in 5 years. I hope it just goes where it needs to go, and I hope it's funner, and I hope it's easier, and we get more gold in the pan. You know, that's really what it's about. You know.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that yeah, right. One of the things that I noticed about the Dream Mat when I first ran it was because I was just learning how to run the Dream Mat. I don't know, I thought too much water coming down in the first 2 row of cups. And I was blowing everything out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after I run, in fact, it was that 7 buckets that I was telling you about. After I run, the thing that I noticed that there was no black sands in those that top row in the mat, but there was gold.
Yep.
So, and that water that was hitting those cups was just blowing everything out except the gold.
There's a lot of fluid dynamics that we don't have time to talk about in developing this product that are going on in that cell and why it works the way it does. And it's not just the gold slipping into black sands like a runaway truck slipping into a runaway truck stop and being buried in that black sand and shelter. So there's some hydrodynamics that are going on that we're seeing that same report from a lot of air people. They are running the Dream Mat so aggressive in to keep the mat really active because they're running a lot of crushed material from the mine, and they're saying they're seeing a certain particle size and they're seeing a certain gold retrieval size out of the first couple rows, even though they don't gather a lot of material, and they're getting 80% of the recovery of the fine material in the first couple cells, and then they're seeing of the larger stuff. They have 8% of the material of the larger particle size in the first couple cells, but all the smaller stuff they're seeing. We have these engineers dissecting this thing. It's just great. And so all this information is just coming back to these joint developments. This product, it's so much awesome data. And so what we're seeing though is it's amazing. You look at it and go, oh man, that must have blew out. And that was one of the things that was the first talked about. We developed the first mat for the cube looked like the traditional Dream Mat. It was a little different. Person they ran it, they evaluated it, and said, it just blows out the black sand, so it doesn't work. And another guy came back and he goes, I said the same thing, but then I cleaned the mat up, and the first mat had almost 80% of the gold on it, and the other mats didn't. And I'm going, oh, and we talked about our gold size. So we were seeing actually great recovery on the mat, which reflects in this large gold that we're collecting. Australia's got big gold. I wish I lived in Australia, Dustin. I'm so jealous.
I know. I've seen pictures of their gold.
They always say, the Dream Mat catches all the fine gold here in Australia too, and they show pictures of the fine gold. And I'm like, dude, that's our big gold. That's like our big stuff. That's not, and they do have some fine stuff. And actually, Dustin showed that. This looks a little wiry. Wire gold is really hard to catch. And that's what's nice about Dream Mat, where the gold that other systems would have trouble with, round gold, like a ball rolling out, or wire gold. Dream Mat actually catches that round gold, and wire gold goes a bit easier because of the way it's shaped. And what it does, and so we see this great recovery rate, even though people run it maybe too fast. And running it too slow, well, you can run anything too slow. But we see that people are running the mat slow, get good recovery rate too. We saw people that were comparing Dream Mat when it first came out against the conveyor belt and against these other sluices, and they ran the gold over it, the fine gold, at a real slow rate, like a finished sluice mat, and it did great. It caught even that fine gold at the same rate the other systems did. And so there's some interesting fluid dynamics. It's a great gold trap. It does a lot of great things. One of these days, a video.
What that taught me was not to run it so fast.
I'll put on the white lab coat and try and use big words, which I don't like to do. I've been involved in so much engineering. I like just saying it, in simple terms. But in explaining to people the dynamics behind it and how it was developed and how it works, but that usually makes people fall asleep unless they're really into that science stuff. And I like, not really. I find that I like the fact that people, it's like, what I love, this is my best. I love to hear people saying, I've been going to the spot for years with my equipment, and I went there with your dream mat, and I'm going, and they're like, I can't believe. Some people, they get excited and they go, I'm gonna get so much gold, I'm excited. That's usually one response, and the other response is, all I can think about is all the gold I've lost all these years. And I'm going, don't think of it that way. Just think about all the new gold you're gonna catch now. They're like, right. Think about I'm all the gold I've lost all these years. So it's like, and to hear people say that, and this is their opinion, this is their honest opinion. And some people, they just have to run it once to form an opinion. There are people, they really run it over and over again. They try to make it fail, and their whole goal. I've had people so many times, they buy the mat for one reason only. They buy the mat, to show it fails, post the video on YouTube to show everybody how Dream Mat don't work. And then they get back a hold of me and they go, dude, this thing's great. I tried to make it. And I go, this is awesome. And I can't great this thing works.
Well, the thing, if you saw the videos, I don't think we posted them yet, of when we ran it for the first time, the mini mat on the cube, we were just slamming the material down. We were trying to make it fail. I mean, literally trying to make it fail. So, and it didn't. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
So I had some folks that ran the Dream Mat behind the cube out on the beach, and they asked me, so how should I feed my cube? And I go, just slam it. And they go, well, overfeed it? I go, no, feed it as fast as you would ever feed your cube and be happy. I go, just slam that thing, feed it as fast as you can, and just see what happens. And and of course, they ran it and they didn't expect to see much. And they said, man, I pulled gold. They didn't pull more gold than they did because they ran their cube correctly. They didn't pour more gold than what they had in their cube because they actually had different mat. They had hog mat and cube mat in the cube, and then so they had a scrubber mat up top, and then they had bear belt, and then my mat behind it. And he says, we found gold in your Dream Mat. And we couldn't believe it. It was not just a little bit. We found gold. And it's not like we didn't find more than what was in the system, but he goes, it was like worth having, and I'm going, and that was regular Dream Mat. That was before the mini mat. And they're going, we couldn't believe it, And so it's kind of funny that, and you had some people on the East Coast that were running a bunch of larger sluice boxes made by another company. And they were out there all day using suction dredges into the black sand on the beaches. And they were running all day, these 3 boxes, all the same, and they're running that air traditional mat that you piece together. And they ran the systems. They had a good day. They had good recovery. They had lots of fun. One of the guys went back there afterwards who has one of my Dream Mats. And know what he did is he went, because they had such good recovery.
No, he didn't. He didn't go into the tailings, did he?
To their tailing piles and shoveled their tailing piles through his 8-inch high beam, little high beam. Right, because it was easy. Just shoveled it up and ran it through because all the big cobble went off the front of the Grizzly, and so all that was there was that fine stuff, because it went through the Grizzly. So it was just easy. You just shoveled it, ran it through, no work, no digging. And he showed a picture of that thing on Facebook, and I still share that picture. He goes, man, this is what I recovered from the tailings. And I look at that thing and go, man, that would be like I could prospect all year. I could prospect 4 years.
Hey, David.
Day. And I was like going, you gotta be kidding. And so, it's just amazing when you see people show it is, unscripted, everything is just, this is just prospecting with real people having fun. And they send this back to me and I'm going, man, does it really work that good? And
no, we're just pulling your leg, dude.
It works good, David.
It does.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, holy cow! But every time I go out with it, I fall in love with it all over again. I don't go out enough.
Yeah, that's true. I
throw dirt in that box and I watch it work, and I just sit there sometimes and I'm going like, how did I ever pull this off? And I didn't do it myself. Like I said when we started, this is a lot of engineer friends, a lot of time, a lot of collaboration. This is this is a work of a lot of resources in passion on solving a problem, in a lot of tenacity, because my uncle, to this day, he'll tell you right now that there were twice where he killed me. I wanted to kill him. And we really got each other. He told me twice, this isn't fun no more. Same fun. You know, doing this, trying to develop the super dogs. And so it went through its, you know, rocky spots where it almost didn't happen.
Oh, I believe
it took a lot of lessons in physics. It took a lot of
work, I'm sure.
I had to not believe in a lot of stuff. Meaning I had to go to the physics books. I had to study the patents, the fluid dynamics, the mining industry, and I had to let the real big dogs tell me what really works compared to what a lot of myth out there, a lot of superstition. Right. And I had to understand fluid dynamics to a point where I even had to learn stuff, because I thought my stuff that this is the way, and I had to realize I had to understand why physics do what they do before I could figure out what physics I needed to solve my problem. Before, I was just trying to make physics solve my problem.
It's kind of hard to fake physics.
I could not bend physics. Physics always do what they do. They never change, and they're constant. And you just got to go out there and say, okay, forget about trying to make physics. Let's go out there and pick the best physics that could solve my problem. And just let it do what it does, and don't force it to do. It's not that was very hard to do.
So far you're doing a great job, David. Hey, we've been on for a little over 2 hours now.
Yeah, we don't want to cut them short, though. But
it's hard.
Yeah, we've been on
it's hard. But would you be willing to come back and join us again in the future, David?
Yeah, sure. You know, maybe next time you'll bring some beer.
No, you got to BYOB, dude. Bring your own beer.
Next time I'm in northwestern Montana, I'll bring a 6-pack with me. Thank you very much, Dave. We have a friend whose show about to start here on the East Coast. It already started. I know I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So it's been a pleasure, David. Thank you very much. Jesse, thank you.
Yes, thanks for doing the show. And David, I will talk to you again later.
And yes, David, we'll talk to you soon. And thank you very much. I need to give a quick shout out to one of my friends and sponsors at Prospctors Radio. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for the West Coast show with Kathleen Biffle and dredging up the news. And don't miss Sunday show at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time at Prospctors Radio. And thank you again very much, David. And it's been a pleasure having you.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, Dave. We'll talk to you later.
Good night, David.
Have a good one.
All right, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining Jesse and I tonight. I really appreciated David joining us. Nice 2-hour show. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for watching and joining us tonight. I hope to have some good guests in the future, like Chris Chadwick from East Coast Prospctors, Mr. Tim for Gold, Raz, MDV, and Clint Washburn, and who knows from there. And not in that order, but
maybe we'll have Lucky Dog on one of these nights.
Yeah, Lucky Dog would be a good one.
Lucky Dog.
Yes. Thanks again, everybody. I need to get and watch our friend the Goose on Devil's Canyon. And I know that's where a bunch of the East Coasterners went. So, oh, and I want to thank Libby for the necklace she made me out of a shark's tooth I found on the coast of Florida. Thank you, Libby. All right, everybody. Thank you. May you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what we always say? Well, at least me. Maybe one day too. And we'll see you on the river. Thanks again, everybody.